Hi and welcome to my new channel Walks the Shire. My name is Betty and I'm a Czech-German nature lover who moved to Aberdeen in Scotland and started working as a tour guide. As the tourist season holds a little slumber during winter, I decided to grab a camera so I can continue sharing this beautiful part of the world online. In my first video, I am traveling to the small village of Ballater in the Royal Deeside to walk the Sgòr Buidhe circuit. And if you'd like to join me on this new and exciting YouTube journey, I would be very delighted to have you with me. The walk starts behind the old railway station in Ballater, which was built in 1866 and was the terminus of the Deeside Railway coming from Aberdeen. It is best known for its association with Queen Victoria, who used the station to reach her summer home, Balmoral Castle. As I wanted to grab a book to delve deeper into the area and its history, I quickly popped into the local bookshop before setting off for the hills. Once I entered, I knew I was in trouble because in every bookshelf there was another book smiling at me. It was lovely chatting to Sabine, who works in the bookshop but who also writes those beautiful children's books. Her friend Agnieszka illustrates them, and apart from looking absolutely gorgeous, they also send a powerful message. Yes, the animals in the sea don't want our rubbish. But enough talking, as it was time for me to leave and to finally set off for the hills. The Royal Deeside is a small but beautiful corner of Scotland, with many rolling hills and picturesque villages, and it just invites you to explore, whether you want to follow in the footsteps of history or enjoy the great outdoors. It owes its name to the River Dee, which rises in the Cairngorms and flows for 85 miles to reach the North Sea at Aberdeen. For the first hour or so, the path took me steeply uphill through some woodland, which I didn't mind as I love being among the trees. But the occasional views of the surrounding hills made me very excited for the top, as it was almost cloudless, and that could only mean that uninterrupted views were waiting for me. I was rewarded with the most beautiful scenery, but also with new company, as I met the three fellow Aberdonians, Ian, Callum and Craig, with whom I ended up walking the rest of the trail together after a few minor mishaps. It's a perfect day, it's just that my feet are completely wet. There was a sign, you have seen it in the video, which said "Welcome to the moor," and apparently there's a track behind. You're not supposed to take that one, but a track further along. So I continued, and then it was just a boggy section, like as far as you could see. It was just basically, it was like a small lake. And so I thought, well, but this must be the way I have to go through. So I went through, and I thought, no, it can't be right. So I went back and I met those 3 guys that you've seen on the video, and they were far behind, so I thought, well, I will go back and catch up with them. They might know the way. So I went back and they said, well, we think that you went the right way because this path can't be the right one. So they went with me and we went again. So it was the 3rd time I walked through the lake, and after a while they said as well, no, that can't be the right way. So I walked through the lake a 4th time, and you would think that I'm a bit more experienced by now, but no, I didn't take my winter Gore-Tex waterproof hiking boots. No, I took my summer hiking boots, which have no waterproof cover at all. But when having glorious views like this in every possible direction, you quickly forget that your feet are as cold as ice and as wet as a soaking sponge. Yes, the scenery was the only thing that captivated my mind, until some next navigational matters required our attention.
Okay, we'll go up to Craigaproney then.
Well, no, it doesn't say to go to Craigaproney.
You're passing by it.
You're passing by it.
You're passing by it.
We could go. We could. There's a cairn up there. We could go up there.
So let's go straight ahead here.
Yep.
And look for this wee white boulder.
Yep. And
This
then,
wee white boulder. Do we turn left at that boulder or?
No. Let's just carry on past it.
The decision has been made, and so we could continue over the ridge and enjoy the last views over the distant mountain tops before starting our descent and making our way back to the woods. Queen Victoria fell in love with this beautiful part of the world when she visited the region for the first time in 1848. Her dear husband, Prince Albert, purchased a nearby estate for her, which is approximately 8 miles away from Ballater and is better known as Balmoral Castle. The royal family have been using Balmoral Castle as their Scottish home ever since, and that's why the region is called the Royal Deeside. So I'm just walking down the hill and this happened. I just slipped and my whole bum, my whole arm and my whole leg are completely covered in mud. So not only do I have wet feet now, but also I have a dirty bum. This is clearly a reminder for me to be more careful when walking on muddy ground. And if you want to see some footage of my unfortunate misstep, don't worry, I've got you covered. But as you can see, nothing tragic has happened, and it definitely made me more laugh than anything else. So let's get back on our feet and enjoy the last rays of warm sunshine in the beautiful Royal Deeside. And I need to say, once you look across this valley where the River Dee carves through this majestic landscape, you are not surprised why Queen Victoria fell in love with this place so much. The afternoon sunshine was just so beautiful, and it was really hard to leave those views. With every step, a new angle of the valley opened up, and I just couldn't resist stopping. But I knew the sun would be setting soon, and I wanted to return to the old railway station to have a look inside. So it was time to leave the muddy ground and make our way back to Ballater.
I was bitten alive with something.
We were almost back in the village when the sun went down, and just before I returned to the old station, it was time to say goodbye to my new friends. Bye! The station was frequently used by members of the royal family until its closure in 1966, and the last monarch to use the station was Elizabeth II. After an extensive restoration, it was reopened to the public in 2001, but unfortunately a big fire nearly destroyed the whole building just 14 years later. It was rebuilt and reopened in 2018, and it is now housing a restaurant, Ballater's Visit Scotland Information Centre, and a public library. By the time I left the station, all the cafes in Ballater had closed, so I just grabbed my sandwich, sipped on my tea, and waited for the bus to take me home to Aberdeen.